Hello Chocos and Chocettes and everyone in between, Roberto here, but not for a video review, just having the ultimate Bubbly Chocolate Challenge. So I'm trying to see if I can hold these. It's very difficult, I've dropped them so many times. Yeah, so basically it's the aerated chocolate challenge, this one, the ultimate one. Now of course I know there are other aerated chocolates out there and things, and I'm not going to, lie that it could be more comprehensive, but I think these are probably the main three, I would say, especially in the UK. The Milka Bubbly, the Cadbury's Whisper, and the Aero. Yes, the Nestle Aero. Yeah, so, very excited about doing this. I've been to do it for a long time, but I needed to review this one before I could do it. So that's why I've just reviewed it in the past week, so yeah. So basically, it's really to see which of these is the best, really. Now, as I say, there are other aerated chocolates. I did review one from Russia not long ago. But long story short is there's probably quite a few that, I could include. I'm sure there's lots of more obscure bubbly chocolates and things, but I just thought, I can't overcomplicate it too much. Let's just stick to the main three that I think that are more prevalent and the ones that people are more interested in. I think that makes sense, really. So hopefully you'll give me that. But yeah, so I've done another chocolate challenge. What did I do last time? It's Ultimate White Chocolate Challenge. So a link to that will be in this corner somewhere. But also a link there will be a link to all my other reviews, a playlist of that. So after you've liked this video and subscribed to my channel, of course, please check those out. It'd be great if you could. And also, I've got Patreon, a YouTube member program as well, so you can see exclusive videos of the channel for the member program. Things I wouldn't normally review: crisps, ice cream, stuff like this, chocolate spreads, hot chocolates. I might do the odd ice cream review here, but no generally. So yeah, check that out. It'd be a great way of supporting the channel, and you get something back as well. Okay, so on to these then. So first thing you'll notice is that this one is bigger than the other two. Now, of course, you probably can get this one in a smaller size, but I could only find it in this size. I'm not, obviously that's not going to. It's more about the taste. So I'm going to see which one tastes the best. So don't it's not going to bear any relevance to it, that really. And of course, these are not going to be proper reviews as such. In the description there'll be a link to all the different reviews of these. So, I'm just going to sort of like compare these ones basically. Might give them might give them a score at the end, but it's not going to be the typical review that I normally do this one. So it's just going to be mainly comparing these ones. So yeah. Okay, well I would say immediately this one, even though it's bigger, it does feel very light. It's 90 grams. Okay, well this one's 36, so it is a third. But I don't know, I feel like this one is lighter than, it feels lighter than it should be. So the Cadbury's one's 36 grams. How much is the... Can't really tell. 24 grams, yeah, so the Cadbury one, so basically the Aero one is the lightest one, for whatever it's worth, of course. But I mean, clearly this one's a bigger wrapper. A bigger bar, or bigger wrapper as well. So they all look quite interesting. I think it's here's the Milka one up close. You can see the bubbles there, quite small bubbles. Now when I reviewed them, I said that the Aero's probably got the bigger bubbles, and you can see the bubbles, at least on the packaging, do look very big. And I think that's consistent. But you'll see on the front of the Cadbury's one, there's nothing there, and there's no picture of it. But it does say the tiniest bubbles, the biggest taste, and I don't know. I'm not gonna disagree with that. I don't think, at least so far, from memory. So interesting one. And the Milka Bubbly Alpine milk. Yeah. So it's got Alpine milk chocolate in. So going for that. Nestle Aero is just the Aero. It's just white chocolate, I guess. I think this might be a European version of the bar. There's just some little things on there that make me think that, but I'm not too sure. At least a non-UK one, anyway. But nonetheless, it's got English in it, so who knows. Okay, yeah. So I'm not, as I say, going to review the size of them and things, but of course this one here's got massive flourishes on it. You'll see. I mean, it's definitely the smaller bar, not just in weight but in size. I mean, you compare to the Whisper, these are sort of comparable products. These ones, this is what you'd buy as the products, and this one's a lot smaller and lighter. But I think from the look of them, I think the Milka Bubbly probably looks the nicest. I mean, I'm used to the Whisper though. I do like it. Does that look does make my mouth water, because I know what's in there. But the Milka one, I think if I not really seen them before, I think I probably would have said this one's nice. But that's because I think purple is my favourite colour. But again, it does have purple on the Cadbury's one, so I don't know. But you clearly see what it is on the Milka one. You clearly see what it is. It's got nice packaging. You can see what it is there. You can on the Aero as well, I guess. But I think the bubbles on the Aero are too big. They don't appeal to me as much. So what's the calories then? I'll probably give it per 100 grams, I think, if I can. Oh, it's tiny on the arrow. It's so small. Gives you per serving as well. It's really tiny. I think it's 133 calories, but I can't really make out the rest of it at all. It's so small. Yeah, it's really tiny. I think it's 8.3 grams of fat, 6.9 of which are saturates, but it's so small to see. I mean, then that's, you know, yeah. So I'm not sure what to make of that. I might have to do captions for them all. Well, I'll do captions anyway, of course, but yeah, it's not helping. I can't give any clues there. Yeah, so it's not really, you know, per 100 grams for the milk, it's 534 calories, 30 grams of fat, 18 of which are saturates. And for the calories, this is the only problem with the smaller bars. They don't really, it's hard for them to fit everything on. It just gives you per 36 pound bar 196 calories, 12 grams of fat, 6.8 of which are saturates. So yeah, so not really gained much information there really, because I can't, it's not comparable, you know, the size is different and it doesn't give you the same weightage, but I've wrote out on the internet, put a caption, so you would have seen that. So yeah, for what it's worth, you'll see. It's not really, I can't really hold it against them as such, but it's something to bear in mind. So if you do see one and you think, oh, you know, yeah, I'm not too sure which the difference is, and one's got 50 calories less or something, then maybe you could go for that one. But either way, yeah. So there we go. Yeah, and strangely enough, it's got some kind of football thing right there. It's got some, I don't know, some of the big 5 football clubs in the UK there: Manchester United, Chelsea, Manchester City, Arsenal, and is it Liverpool? Yeah. No, on Tottenham Hotspur as well. Tottenham Hotspur. No, in the end, it was squished a bit. Alright, well, I think we should get into them, give them an open then, see what they look like, and yeah, see what the bubbles are like, compare the bubblage, and then we'll do the taste after that. So let's do it. Let's give them an open. Oh, right, okay, so on the ultimate bubbly chocolate challenge, so I'm going to give these an open then. So obviously they're different size bars and things, so you know, we're not going to compare them like for like that. We're obviously going to look at the taste and the bubbles, which is obviously the important thing in this one. So let's have a look at the Milka one there. We've already looked at the wrappers and things. So, oh, I had to rate the wrapper, the arrow's losing already. Okay. Okay, bit of a dint of something down the arrow. Yeah. Nice smells coming from the wall. Okay, here we go. Right, so here we are. So first of all, I think you'd definitely say the Milka Bubbly has a very nice bubbly effect on it. Does make problems when you're trying to know what the nutritional information is per square and things, because or per bubble, because they're not uniform. Now the arrow one's had a bit of damage here. I don't know. It looks like it's been. I don't know how that's happened really, but there you go. Let's have a look at it. So you see, each segment does have bubbles on them, other than the damaged ones. But I think you'd say it's not overly amazing, but to look at it either way, I think it has looked better in the past. Flat on the bottom, of course. You can see the distinct squares at the bottom of this. So if you're looking for the calories, you might be able to work it out based on these bottom square things, but it doesn't translate to the top. So I still think it's not very obvious that. And the whisper one here is very, yeah, I know it's a bit mundane as well, you'd say. I mean, it looks a bit just like a bar, doesn't it? You know, it's a literal bar. Got those sort of weird stripes in it. And the bottom of the bubbles come through. Lovely smell to it, though, I have to say. Get up close to it. Yeah, the milk one smells very sort of creamy. The other one just smells a bit, yeah, I don't know. Milk one has a bit of a creamier smell. The other one just smells just of something, you know, chocolatey. But the wisp one definitely has a nicer smell. Okay, so let's give them a snappage. Okay, let's snap them all and compare. Okay, I'll have a look myself first, because I can't... Okay, alright, well, interesting. I think... Well, first of all, let's have a look at the Cadbury's Whispers. Here's the Whisper one. Quite condensed bubbles, but you can clearly see some big, chunky bubble holes there. I think they're just, you know, very much air pockets. So it does look quite velvety on those big, chunky bubbles. So you can see, but the rest of the bubbles are very small. I think there's bigger holes there, not intentional. I think that's just where the air's, you know, it's just been an air pocket. But nonetheless, the other two don't seem to have that. So you can see the bubbly one here. This is the Milka Bubbly. Seems to be quite small bubbles again, but more bigger ones there that are actually intentional, I would say. And then you've got the Aero one, which is noticeably bigger, a bit more uniform as well. They're not massively big, they're not as big as they were on the wrapper. Look, huge on the wrapper. You can see the difference, but yeah. But they are bigger, they are the bigger bubbles, and that was what I expected. So they all look quite nice, I'd say. I think from appearance, I probably would go with either the Aero or the Milka, really. I think the Aero looks very uniform, but the bubbles look a bit bigger. They look a bit more like honeycombs from a bee's nest or something. They almost look like hexagonal uniform blocks. So, there's the Cadbury one, as I say, is very, I think it's just the fact. I think if it didn't have the big sort of air pocket hole things, I think it would probably be able to look a lot nicer. But it just looks a bit messy. The milk one looks, I don't know, must be in between the two. It's hard to say. They all look quite nice in a way. I think the other one looks more uniform and nicer for that respect. But I think, I think it probably does look nicer. I don't know. I'm not sure. It looks more uniform, but it looks like more honeycomb. I really don't know, actually. I think the Whisper doesn't look the nicest. I think I was saying like the Whisper might look better if it didn't have bigger holes in it. But I think that's probably what it'd look like the Bubbly then. So I think the Aero one looks nicer, I think. But I think it doesn't really look like what I'd expect it to look like. So, yeah, difficult one, that one. I don't think we've gauged much from that. But I think what we will gauge much from is the taste, so let's do that. Let's give them a taste. Okay, once we're back at this Ultimate Chocolate Challenge, so we've got the Milka Bubbly Alpine Milk versus the Aero, Nestle Aero, versus the Cadbury's, the classic Cadbury's Whisper. There we go, yes. So I've got them all pre-ready here, so on my plate. Yeah, so very excited about this. I'm very excited. So let's see what's the best. So I'm going to start with, I said the Aero before. I was talking about the look of them really. And so you can see the Aero one. The Aero one's very uniform. I think that does look nice. I think it does look a bit too uniform. It looks a bit sort of hexagonal in places. Yeah, bigger bubbles. Whereas I was also saying that the Cadbury's one's got all these bigger air pockets in it, and without those it might look better. But the Milka one doesn't have those big air pockets in, and I wouldn't say it looks particularly better either. So I don't know, the Aero one looks better I think in theory, but I don't know, I think it's too uniform. I'm not sure, not what I'm expecting. So I don't know, we'll give perhaps the Aero the benefit of the doubt. So that one looks the best. But okay, so let's give the Aero one a taste. So from memory it's been my least favourite one in the past, so but things might have changed. Interesting, I've not had it for a long time now, so I want to give it a go. So yeah, let's give the Aero one a taste. Let's get started. So let's give it a go. It's okay. Definitely not very velvety. The fact that there's lots of space between the bubbles is apparent. The chocolate's not great. Nestle milk chocolate isn't perfect, I don't think. And I think obviously this is just a block of milk chocolate. Alright, yeah, let's give the Milka Bubbly a taste. So, give one segment to go. So it definitely crumbles when you snap it, so very nice. Okay. And it's got a lot more distinct flavour. A lot more velvety, melts in your mouth as well. It's very distinct Milka chocolate. Very very creamy, made milky. More milky than creamy, I'd probably say. Okay, nice though, nice, very velvety. I like that. I think it's probably better than the Aero. Okay, let's give the Cadbury one a taste. The Whisper. Very much excited for this one. So let's see. Yeah, it's it's a lot. There's a lot less of a distinct taste as well as than the Milka. That sort of milky, sort of milky sort of taste. Yeah, the Cadbury one. It doesn't taste. It's not got a massive taste to it though. I was expecting more of a taste from it. A very distinct taste. After eating the other two, you know. It's very, it is very bubbly, it's very smooth. I think, let's have a look at the milker again. The milker definitely has that sort of twang, you know, that sort of milky, creamy twang that goes with the Alpine milk taste. And I think it's whether you love that or not really is going to be the one that decides it for you there. I think the Aero is definitely the weaker one. It isn't velvety at all, unlike the other two, because the bubbles are so dry and big. And chocolate feels dry, you know, drier anyway. Obviously, it does sort of melt in the mouth, but I think the milk one has that twang, you know, it has a sort of very much that sort of Alpine milk chocolate taste to it, which is what you'd expect. So here's the Whisper again. You see there's bigger bubbles. It seems to have sort of like a. It does seem to be prevalent that there's lots of big bubbles in there, but lots of small velvety ones as well. The Whisper just seems to have more of a full body to it. As well as that velvetiness to it as well. But the distinct taste isn't quite there as much as I remembered it, I must say. I think the Aero is the weakest for sure. It's not terrible or anything, it's just not really that great of a bubbly chocolate. It's very, the bubbles are quite thick and it noticeably tastes drier than the other two. You know, when it's in your mouth. It doesn't melt straight away. Could be because obviously there's more air in it, so, you know. But even so, and I think it doesn't, even though it looks a bit too uniform as other bubbles, I don't know, there's something a bit, even though it looks more aesthetically pleasing from a uniformity point of view, it seems a bit less, I don't know. And more importantly, the chocolate's not that great either with the Aero. It's just not a great. Nestle's white milk chocolate isn't great. The white chocolate's really nice. And now the Milka Bubbly. I think that is good. I think it's just that it's got that Alpine twang to it, the Alpine milk twang. And it's not my favourite taste, that. It's like sort of like a milky sort of after. Well, when you finish it in your mouth, it sort of does taste has like a milky not really an aftertaste, but that's what you're left with. I don't know. Because the Whisper doesn't have that. It does oddly have a sort of lips on the side. That's the bottom of it. You can see there where it's got those lips to make it. No, it shouldn't really have that. It makes it look a bit taller than it is. A bit cheeky. Yeah. Well, the Whisper. You know, I'd say the flavour's not quite as prominent as I remember it being. Yeah. You know, because I'm just comparing it with the other two now. I thought it had more of a stronger, more prominent flavour. It still does have a prominent flavour, but it's not really anything more over the other two. Yeah. Which I always thought it was. It just feels a bit more full-bodied. It just feels more, you know, it just seems to have more about it than the other two. And it's, I wouldn't say it's more velvety than the Milka one, actually. It's probably about the same, but it just doesn't have that. It just has something a bit more about it, I think, that I just prefer. Yeah, there's just something there. It just has a bit of an X factor to it that the other ones don't have, you know, or the Milka one doesn't have. It's not a massive thing by any means in imagination. No, it's just something there. It's just more full-bodied. It just has more of it. It just gives you something a bit more, you know, than the Milka one does, I think. It could be that if you really love Alpine milk chocolate and Milka chocolate generally, you know, you'll find that one does it for you. But for me, I don't know. It's just something about the Whisper that just lifts it slightly above it, really. And I think it just not having that Alpine milk chocolate taste definitely is better. It just has a more, as I say, velvety, richer, more fuller body taste. You know, but it's you know, not massively though. It's only a minor thing, but it's there nonetheless, and that's what just gives it the edge, I think. So yeah, I think for me the Aero is probably a 2.5, 3 out of 5. You know, I'm going to be quite harsh with it because it's it's okay. It's just about okay. So I mean, I'd probably say a 3 out of 5, but you know, it's just about that. The Milka one, I did a review the other day. I could be completely inconsistent now, but I can't remember what I gave it really. Maybe I should have done, but I'm going to say it's a 4 out of 5. I think. It is nice, but it's just. It depends on whether you like that milk or chocolate or not. And I think for me, I do like it, but I don't love it. So, and also the fact, yeah, it's not got anything that lifts it above that. I think the Whisper has probably been a 5 out of 5 in the past. But I think as I've tasted more and more chocolates, and comparing it with these two as well, I don't think it's quite got that sort of massive X factor that it used to have, or at least I've not experienced it today. But it does have something that lifts it above the other two. Well, the Milka one anyway. Well, it's obviously the Aero one, but the Milka one. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Not a 5 though, which I think is a shame. But maybe that'll be the Whisper Gold. Who knows? That's got caramel in it. Yeah. So it does have something that just lifts it above the other two. Well, the Milka one, obviously the other one, the Aero. It's just got something there, that more richer, fuller body, just a nicer consistency. It just has something that just gives it just that edge over the Milka one. But obviously, if you love Alpine milk chocolate, Milka's Alpine milk chocolate, I think it goes without saying that you'll love the other one more. But for me, the Whisper just has something, even though it doesn't have that as distinctive a taste, it's just got something in the overall package that just lifts it above, where it's a combination of all things: the texture, the taste, the way it melts. 4.5 out of 5 for that one. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that showdown, guys. Let me know what you think. Let me know your favourite of the threes, and if you've got any other bubbly chocolate that you love and think that actually is better than all 3 of these, yeah, let me know, and obviously I'll try and look out for that. But maybe revisit this at some point. But yeah, for me, I think the Whisper is the king of these plain milk chocolate bubbly aerated bars. Obviously, there are other ones with caramel and things like this. They're a different kettle of fish completely. There's not comparing apples with apples really. So maybe I'll do another one of those. Who knows? Could be in the pipeline. Could be a spoiler there. Okay, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. Follow me to Twitter, Instagram, Patreon if you can. Check out my member program also. You exclusive videos there. Get something back for supporting the channel. I'd really appreciate. It would really help me out. But either way, leave a comment or free. It's always great to hear from you. It truly is. And I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye for now. See ya.